Hello, everyone, once again. This is Rob, and welcome back to Media Awareness and another album review. Before I continue, however, a quick reminder that the fundraiser continues. For those of you who are unaware or who do not know me, I am a disabled individual and I use a motorized wheelchair slash scooter all day, every day for my independence, and I need your help. The fundraiser link is below in two places, right below the video in the description, under the title, as well as in a separate section below that. Essentially, I am attempting to raise funds to refurbish my motorized wheelchair slash scooter before it decides to fail entirely. The reason being is my insurance will not cover any of this. They do not see my scooter as a medical necessity, despite the fact that it is all I'm able to utilize. I only have use of one hand, therefore I am unable to use a motorized, a standard wheelchair, I should say, or any other type of scooter. I only have use of the one hand and have the ability to utilize what I currently use. So that being stated, I need to have these parts available so that before they go, they can be replaced. And when they start showing wear and tear, I start to panic. And many of them are starting to show wear and tear, and I definitely need your support. I'm far from reaching the target goal of the fundraiser, so please do what you can below, and it would be greatly appreciated. I do want to extend the gracious thanks to those who have contributed thus far, in addition to those who plan on contributing, as your contributions have and will make a world of difference in my life. I'm trying not to dwell too much on other things at the moment, despite the fact that my wheelchair van, which was my only means of uh, outdoor transportation to and fro, is no longer functional. My van has failed, it is no longer functional, and no longer repairable, unfortunately. So, before I am a fish out of water entirely, I want to make certain that my scooter is taken care of. So please, as I stated, do what you can. Any and all help is appreciated. And above all, just being able to bring you these reviews and these reactions really keeps me going. It's the music that keeps me going, all the arts, but in particular music. Music has been a part of my life, my entire life, and it is my fuel in my everyday existence. I wake up, I listen to music. I go to bed, I'm listening to music. Music is my heartbeat. So do all that you can to keep my independence sustained, because I do pride myself on my independence, and the last thing I want to do is be reliant on people on an everyday basis all day to get from where I need to go because my scooter has malfunctioned. I need my independence, and any and all support, as I stated, is welcome. So this is an album review of the new Steve Hackett album, entitled The Circus and the Nightwhale. And I have to say, this album is absolutely brilliant. I want to just get that right out of the way. I listened to it from early this morning, around 8 o'clock a.m. here in northeastern Pennsylvania on the east coast of the United States, through 3 p.m. roughly. This album is just, it's an experience. That's the best way to define this. I'm going to feature the musicians who contributed to this album on the screen. That way I don't butcher the names. But these are all the individuals that were present as far as actually contributing to the recording of this album at one point in time or another. So you have a listing here, and there is quite a few, but it is definitely a worthwhile endeavor for them all, as what the end product yields is just totally a work of art, and I can't stress that enough. I'm going to go through the track listing, and that way I can get my face from being so bright because I have the track listing pulled up here so I could see it more easily for you guys and reference these tracks. But the tracks and the album itself, really quickly, it has a natural flow to it. So we started out with track one, People of the Smoke, which was the first single from the album. I did a reaction to that, which I had to do heavy editing on, as it was blocked initially, and I could not get any sound up at all for that one. But it was a impressive track nonetheless. It actually was different from a lot of what Steve Hackett has been doing the past several years. And with that being said, it was a very true to form song for Steve, despite it being different from what he's been doing. It seemed to me that this album really was uh, like a mirror for him, and or better yet, a self portrait, and he was essentially uh, depicting himself throughout these tracks, and the album itself is a concept album. It focuses on a main character called the Traveler, but that character sort of loosely represents Hackett. And from People of the Smoke, we move on to track two, The Passing Clouds. These Passing Clouds, I'm sorry, which is a really intense piece in my opinion. I'm gonna scroll down here. Let's see. We have track three, which is Taking Down, and track four, Found and Lost. Track five, Enter the Ring. Track six, Get Me Out. Track seven, Ghost Moon and Living Love. Track 8, Circle Inferno. Track 9, Breakout. Track 10, All at Sea. Track 11, Into the Nightwhale. Track 12, Wherever You Are. And track 13, White Dove. I believe that is our final track. Yes, it is. So, this album itself is really a masterpiece of artistic expression. This album, The Circus and the Nightwhale, is just an album that you can sit back, close your eyes, and it takes you on a journey through what the Traveler, or if you want to really get technical, Steve Hackett's life has been. And it's metaphorical, of course, but still, it is really an ambitious project and a really excellent payoff. I wasn't expecting this album to be as good as it was. I was expecting it to be good, but not this good. It is by far the best Steve Hackett album I have ever heard, and I say that hands down. This album, it starts out very intense with People to Smoke, and it ends off with White Dove, which is a beautiful acoustic guitar piece, and it had me in tears at that point. By the end of the album, I was just moved to tears, and my emotions were just on a roller coaster ride throughout this album as it ebbs and flows throughout the songs, and going through these different movements as a classical piece would. But it really, really just it knocked me out. It knocked me out, and it really made me reflect on my own life, knowing that this album is loosely based on Steve's life. I think it's an album that we all can relate to on an individual level, and that's something that can't really be said for a lot of albums out there. But this album is just, it's so personal, it makes it relatable. And there is not a bad song on this album. And they all just flow, like I said, effortlessly into each other, taking you on this um, almost a cinematic journey, if you will. And I say that in a metaphorical sense, but also in an accurate depiction of what I experienced. I was able to just sit back this morning, close my eyes, and just listen, absorb, and experience right alongside the main character and the lyrics itself. This album really transported me elsewhere, and it really was an intense listening experience that I think everyone should have. Everyone that really loves quality music with heart and soul and content as far as lyrical composition and intensity. This is something that you should hear because it's something that I feel that we all can really connect with on different levels and different planes of who we are. So, I highly recommend this Steve Hackett album. Once again, The Circus and The Nightwhale. It's available on Inside Out Music, wherever you can find music online to stream, or in physical form on CD, as well as I believe vinyl. I'm not positive on that, but fairly certain it is on vinyl as well. Everything seems to be being issued on vinyl these days again, so you can probably find it. I'd like to get a CD copy of this personally. I do apologize for not having one. Uh, it was something I did not really think about until today, and obviously I'm not holding one in my hand, so I can't give you an adequate review of the packaging or anything of that nature. Once I do have a copy, if you'd like me to do so At that point, I will do a reassessment review of the album with the packaging and inserts and such, and give you a more accurate portrayal of what you get and how what the relevance of the packaging is to the actual content within. But until that time, I do really recommend listening to this album and making it part of your listening experience and your overall journey through life, as this album is really quite a shocking, intense, as I stated before, but also really moving journey for me. And I couldn't stop listening to it all day. That's just how 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 captivated I was by this album. So definitely check out Steve Hackett, The Circus, and the Nightwhale. And once again, a reminder the fundraiser continues. Please do what you can. I do not want to have to suffer any more losses in my life. Um, as stated previous to this review, my wheelchair van is dead in the water, and I do not want to be a fish out of water and be unable to move about my house because my scooter has malfunctioned and doesn't work. My goal is to keep it functioning, to keep it working on a continuous basis. So, with all of that stated, the fundraising link is below in the description. Any all help is welcome. This is Rob with Media Awareness. I was very pleased to bring you this review. I hope it was helpful to you. Please let me know in the comment section your opinion on the circus and the night whale if you've heard it, and or your favorite Steve Hackett solo album or project for that matter. And I will see you all again soon. Have a wonderful morning, noon, or night wherever you are. Take care. Bye.